Hey everybody, welcome. Thank you all for being here for the live session with me. We're going to be talking about our class, Psychology of Play. Again, if you want to go over any of this stuff, it's all going to be archived, so you can go back and watch this video. It'll be there. The only thing that won't be there is the chat section. So the chat box that's here that we can all type in during the live session. It's only here in the live session. It does not doesn't exist. You can't see it in the archive video. So if you're watching the archive, my apologies. You don't understand the inside conversations that we're having. I would recommend you come to the live session next time. That's that's what I like. Everybody, just FYI, there's like a little hand button. You can raise your hand if you want to talk. If we do questions, answers, whatever. There's a chat box as well. I'm trying to go through this and read everything that I have to present, as well as reading the conversation as we go through. So if I miss your questions, feel free to repose them or raise your hand. You can ask them verbally. Everyone's muted just so I don't hear everyone's background noise. But yeah, if you want to talk, I'd be happy to jump in there and we can go. So everybody good and ready to go? You can see my screen and you can hear me well? Yes. Awesome. Cool. Well, there we go. Psychology of Play. It's me again. So where are we going in this course? That's kind of the question for today. I know yesterday we did introductions, got to know each other a little bit. Some basic things. You've all seen the online platform, what it looks like. It looks more or less like this. Sometimes things have slightly different names than what you might see here, but that's what we're going to be looking at day in, day out. I recommend just being on it with a platform, getting on every day, checking your mail, checking your messages, seeing what's due. Everything has a due date. It's always going to be listed on FSO. Definitely check stuff. That's if you're prepared and you look every day and you see, hopefully, everyone is in school, and hopefully that's your main priority right now. I realize that sometimes other stuff gets in the way or takes priority temporarily, but I know everybody's putting a lot of time and effort and their resources into being in school. So being on that every day is really important. Check your messages daily. It's a little envelope. Being on the platform day in and day out, I think really is one of those things that helps people. Just a small aside from what we're talking about. When I was working as an academic advisor, I had a student one time who he was on academic probation, which is neither here nor there. But and he was an online student, but I made a deal with him. I said, hey, you keep missing stuff, and it seems to be a problem. Agree to log on every day. Log into the platform every day. And I could tell whether or not he had done it because I had those permissions. I could see whether or not he was logging in every day. And he did. He logged in every day. His homework was getting done. He was knocking things out. He wasn't missing deadlines. And he ended up, he got off academic probation. Shortly thereafter, he kind of, fell back into bad habits again and, stopped logging in, stopped doing stuff, and ended up, back on academic probation. I think he ended up getting, he ended up dropping out of school, which, I don't know if that had anything to do with his personal life or what was going on. But what I can tell you was that he was very successful in his classes when he was, active every day, logging in, paying attention, participating. So, all that to say, you're here, you don't have too many excuses to not be active in your classes. So definitely, make sure that you are. So we're going to talk about play a little bit. I know I brought it up yesterday. What do some people like to do for play? You can jump in the chat box if you want, or you can raise your hand. I can call on people. But what do you guys like? What do you all like to do for play? What's fun activities for you all? Play video games, surf the web. Okay, what video games do you like to play? Basketball, video games, Netflix. Okay, video games and Reddit. All right. Football. video games, basketball, making music, playing instruments, video games, board games, video games, swimming, walking around your complex, music. Okay, so it seems like everyone they know what they like to do for fun, whether or not they're making time for it. I think everyone probably has a pretty good idea of what your fun is, what's enjoyable for you. Um, Dariante, I see you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, hello.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can. So can everyone else.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you like to do for fun?
I
What's your
was,
what's your play?
I would say, I would say hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
I
Okay.
mean,
Do you
oh,
still do you still get a chance to play hide and seek these days? Can you get a group together for a good round of hide and seek?
well, not anymore.
Not
Well, I
anymore,
was back at home.
right? Yeah, no, I definitely remember playing some right, big version of hide and seek in my neighborhood with all my friends. It was a lot of fun. Um, so what happened with that, with you and your friends? What made you stop doing that?
Well, you say, well, I moved. Well, I moved. Well, I used to play with my little brother, and it was like little brother and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it started when I started moving to Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Moving
So
to,
you're doing it right up until you moved to Orlando. I bet it was a lot of fun because you're probably faster than all of them. Yeah, you could catch them.
yeah, yeah, I always be it.
Nice, nice. That's cool. Well, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Um, so I think everyone has had some play activities that they really liked when they were growing up. I know I did. I'm a really big fan of play as an adult, and I think that sometimes we get the idea that play is for kids, or play has to look a certain way, or that it's a waste of time, or that we should be doing more important stuff with our time. And there's kind of there's research that suggests that there's something useful about play. And it's interesting. A lot of the people in kind of my age bracket have kind of gone, there's like this back to play movement that seems to be happening. I know in Orlando, there's what's called the Orlando Sports and Social Club, which is, it's like a small club for adults that does sports. So they do basketball and soccer and football, flag football, not, not contact football, and softball and kickball. And I think it's really interesting. You have adult professionals who maybe have time in their life. Maybe they don't have kids yet. Maybe they whatever it is, they've got some free time. They want to do fun stuff. They've seen the value in it. I know that I like kickball a lot. I think kickball is the great equalizer, because just about anyone can play kickball. Everyone pretty much generally knows the rules. They know how to play. And I think it's a lot of fun. It's not like baseball, which is, I feel like, is a little bit harder. There's not a ton of running, so even if you're not in amazing shape, it still is something that you can still get along with and play. Um, but I've always really enjoyed it, and I still do. When I get the opportunities to play kickball, I try to take them. Um, there's other things. It doesn't have to be just normal, regular games and things like that. Play kind of shows up for a lot of people in different ways. I know a lot of people were talking about music, and whether that's making music or listening to music. That's right. That's what you're doing as play activity. That's what's fun for you. And it's important to find the things that work for you. Your play doesn't have to be what everybody else is. I know some people want to go out and play tackle football, and some people want to sit in a small group with their friends to play Dungeons and Dragons, and both of those are equally valid as play activities. They don't have to be contact sports, and they don't have to be role playing games. They can kind of fall wherever they will. And it's individual. So whatever people want to do as individuals for fun, that's really what's important for them. Um, so what brings everybody here? and you can just, abbreviate. We went through programs yesterday, so I know a lot of people are here, and there's a good amount of music folks here. I know there's some creative writing people. I know we had mobile development. Um, I'm gonna miss a lot of them. I know we had some show production people. There were a lot of game people. But everyone, I mean, more or less, correct me if I'm wrong, you're coming here to pursue a passion and a career, something that you enjoy, and I would hope that at least some elements of it could be fun for you. Is that more or less correct? Some of my way off, or some people like, no, I hate my degree program. I'm just here for some other reason. I hope everybody's here because they love the program and they're really interested in it. Am I here by myself? Is there anyone in the chat room? Oh, okay. Janeshi wants to know everything you can. There's to know about film. Awesome. Sometimes the chat room gets a little bit quiet, and I sort of wonder what's going on. It varies. Sometimes I appreciate it. It means you're listening, so that's awesome. Hey, Miguel, I see your hands raised. I'm unmuting you. Go ahead.
Hi. I just wanted to say that the main reason why I came to Full Sail is to achieve my goal of becoming an artist. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved to draw, and I feel like what Full Sail has to offer will help me achieve that dream of mine.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So right, it seems like everyone, more or less, they're here. Here wants to know what it takes to make a game. Julio wants to learn all the different things about music, how it can be used. A lot of game development, which I'm always happy to hear. I'm a big fan of our game department. I think a lot of our other departments are great as well, but I have a lot of friends who've gone through game dev, and I know it's really cool. Xavier wants to learn about music production and that industry, network, meet new people. Yeah, I think everyone's here right because they're passionate about what they do, which is pretty fantastic. Um, I I think a lot of other people, they go to school and maybe they're into what they're doing, but I think a lot of times that maybe people aren't as passionate about what they do. It's not to say that people who are in school for other things don't like it or don't feel passionate about it, but it might not be as fun for them. It might be more they want to make a lot of money, or they want to do something else. And I don't fault anyone. If you go into a field and you go because hey, I'm following the money. That's totally understandable. Everyone has their own reasons, but my hope is that everyone kind of has or views their field as somewhat fun, somewhat enjoyable. It's something they can really get behind and enjoy it. Excuse me. So give me a minute. I'm just gonna take a sip of my water. So right, we're kind of looking at things and thinking of them from the big picture of what we want our life to look like, what's going to make us fulfilled and happy. And it's important. It's important to know like what you're about every day, and be able to do something that that's fulfilling. If I had to go to a job every day where I dragged in and I hated what I did and I didn't like working with the people I work with, and for me, working with all of you, is a lot of fun for me. I really, I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy being able to interact with students on a regular basis. And not everyone has that. It's unfortunate. I feel bad for people who who hate their jobs, and it's even people. Sometimes you might make a lot of money, but you hate what you do, and you always see. You don't always see, but I feel like from time to time you'll see something on in the news where it's somebody who was gave up some job in high finance or something like that to go pursue a passion that they love, and it might mean they don't make as much money. But they're fulfilled and they're happy, and they've obviously had both sides of that. They've had the giant, huge money and just chasing that, and they've had doing what they're passionate about. And it's, if people really were, if it was all about the money, then I think they would just be following the money and not what they were passionate about. But, like people prove it day in and day out that, following your passion and being fulfilled in what you do every day is really the way to go. So, my hope is that, a lot of you are kind of on the right track with that. And, that's important. You've all kind of also moved into, fields that really call you to tap into your creativity. I think everyone here has something creative about them, whether or not they and this is part of maybe what makes you unique. But everyone has something that some creative outlet. Maybe it's what you're doing in school, maybe it's not, maybe it's something else. But everyone wants to be able to use your creativity to be successful and to innovate. I look at a lot of the projects that come out of some of our programs. I think about just because it's close to our building, and next time next time we meet for class, walk around in building 4A. It's the fabrication lab is in there. And it is super cool. But you can look at the innovative technology that people are working with I believe most people in that building are visualization and simulation students, which is it's a pretty awesome program. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. But they're doing a lot of really really creative, innovative things, and it's a huge in demand field. I know we're working right now on our VR and AR, which is virtual reality and augmented reality programs, or those labs, which are also coming up in the same building. And if anyone's plays Pokemon Go, that right there, that's augmented reality. There's augmented reality headsets that are out now. I know Microsoft has, I think it's called the HoloLens, which it's super cool stuff. Next time there's like a open house, or if any of you have not been on the behind the scenes tour, I'd recommend going on it and checking out some of the stuff that the game department and the simulation department are doing. They've got the coolest toys, in my opinion. I think if you're not into that, it might not be cool for you. But I think they've got some of the coolest toys in the whole school. So definitely some cool stuff to check out. If you have some time. But right, it's people being able to follow their creativity to develop new innovative software and technology. I think a lot of people maybe look at creativity from a drawing or painting or music, and they think about that. And that's great. There is that too. But I think it's I'm always impressed when I see creativity in the technology sector, because I think a lot of times people in that field get kind of, people get the wrong impression about them. They say, oh, that's just some programmer. They put them in this box that says they're all zeros and ones, and, they don't know how to unwind, and they're not as creative necessarily. Which is not true at all. When you look at some of the, applications people are developing, software people are writing, it's pretty creative work, and I think that they don't get their just dues. But the fabrication lab and the simulation visualization programs are really they're cool places where the students really get to shine. So I think it's pretty cool. I like to see it a lot. So play, again, back to that. We have it as a way for all of us to unwind. I believe it starts. So right here, how it shapes the brain, opens the imagination, invigorates the soul. Play is one of those things that I think everyone, I'm sure, has studied to a point of exhaustion at some point, more or less, probably. play is one of the things where we kind of get to press pause on our life and recharge our batteries mentally. Physically, sometimes it's more demanding than what we're doing. But I know, if I'm grading papers, and I have a big stack of papers to grade, I'll grade, and then I'll just take a break. I'll take maybe 10 or 15 or 20 minutes and say, okay, I'm going to do something fun. And, sometimes that's, stepping away from my desk, going on a walk with a coworker. One of my coworkers, he always has his chessboard with him. So sometimes we'll just go sit out on our back patio in our office, and we'll just play a game of chess and relax and chat and catch up. But it's worthwhile, and I think that's kind of the thing. I can. You've all heard, all work and no play, makes Jack a dull boy. That whole thing, and I think there's something to be said about that. I think that just constantly working and constantly being caught up in, I need to get this done, I need to get this done, I need to get this done. Eventually we get pretty burned out. We'll come and we'll talk about it later on in the class, but when it becomes difficult at a certain point to continue to work and be creative when we're just being taxed all the time and we don't have time to recharge, and play essentially recharges the batteries. So it's definitely something that's worth doing. I know we talked about the other day. I mentioned we're going to be defining play, and we'll go through these slides, which kind of explain it. So play is apparently purposeless. And what that means is there's no aim in what we're doing. There's no benefit. There's no thing that you get. There's no reward necessarily. We're not doing it for money. It's just something that we can do for pleasure. So just that. And that's not to say that if play for you is, well, I play an instrument or I do a sport and I do it to get better. I realize that there may be some aim or end to it, but we're doing it for its own sake. We're doing it because we like to do it and because it's enjoyable. So there doesn't have to be a financial incentive to go out and play. Voluntary, so it's not compulsory. We're not being asked to do it. We're not being made to do it. I think it's always fun when when we get somebody who maybe has is being made to play, and they get real grumpy about it, and like, oh, I don't want to play, or I don't enjoy what I'm doing, which happens from time to time. I always kind of laugh, and I'm one to make the best out of whatever situation I find myself in. So I try to go with the flow when there's play, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Miguel, I see your hand is up. I apologize if it's been up for a while. Go ahead if you have something to say.
I wanted to comment earlier when you were talking about the Fab Lab. I participated on an activity that they were offering, basically to try out a virtual reality program. Even if it was for GPS points, I thought it was really fun. It actually felt like I was actually doing the activity.
Nice. What was the activity that you were doing in virtual reality?
It was like a video game that they were working on. It was a military demo. Basically, I was inside with was like a plane. And I was like flying around, and I was like launching missiles to fire at a base and some military tanks that were driving by in the desert. They had like a fan blowing wind in my face, so it felt like I was actually flying there. And when I was like diving, like going down, it actually felt like I was like diving towards the ground. So I thought that was pretty amazing.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun.
To think that it was, and to think that students are able to create that, it's just mind blowing.
It really is. No, that's really impressive. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So yeah, if like I was saying, if anyone gets the opportunity, it's definitely worthwhile to go check out some of the stuff that's happening in other programs. You never know what you're going to stumble upon. It's a lot of times some pretty cool stuff. So check it out next time you're out and about. walked to the back of our building one day, when we're in class, not in class, but after or before. You can see some of the simulators that are in that room. They all look really cool. I haven't used them, but they look totally awesome. So, inherent attraction. That's one of the other things about play. Something that we're just attracted to. It really draws us in. This is one of the things where it gets really personal for people, because I'm really into plants, but I'm sure that a lot of people would be bored out of their mind at a plant, a nursery or a botanical garden. The inherent attraction is we're not all attracted to the same thing, and it's good. That's what makes the world go round. It seems like there are certain things that really catch big swaths of the population. Pokemon Go is one of those ones where I'm pretty impressed. I don't personally play, not because of any. I'm just busy with raising children. I'm sure that I'll eventually catch on to it, but right. So being inherently attracted to whatever our play activity is, that's a huge characteristic of play. Freedom from time is another one that sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. Has anyone ever been reading a book, playing a video game, working on a piece of artwork, and you look up and 5 hours has passed, and you say, "Whoa, where'd the time go?" That's what we would call freedom from time. This is it's good and bad. Sometimes it's great. We get lost in a book, or we get lost in a video game, whatever we're doing. Yeah, Miguel, that happens to you all the time. Definitely, Hunter. Yeah, every time you play League or 2K, yeah, definitely. It happened to me a lot more when I was younger. I remember I played a lot of Red Dead Redemption, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a lot of fun. Funny story about that is that a bunch of Full Sail grads worked on that. So that's a fun thing right there. Yeah, it's a really fun game. I know they're coming out with a sequel here soon. I think in 2017. Neither here nor there. I'm excited. But I would play, and it would be I'd look, and just hours would go by. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of responsibilities at that point in my life. I was probably in undergrad, so I was in college. I probably had like a job, not doing anything real serious, and schoolwork. And as long as I get my schoolwork done, it was good. But yeah, I would lose hours and hours of my life playing video games. I that's it's fine. If there's nothing else going on, sometimes people may neglect other responsibilities. That's maybe where it becomes problematic for them. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. But yeah, same thing. It can happen with getting lost in a book. Getting lost in. I know a lot of music people will be in the studio and hours will fly by, and they're like, I don't know where the time went. So it really kind of it spans across all fields. So definitely something that everyone probably experiences at some point when they're really doing something that they love. Diminished consciousness of self. So what I mean by this is getting so interested and so intrigued and involved in something that you kind of stop caring about what other people think. I know the term dance like nobody's watching comes to mind. And it's funny. Dancing is one of those things where you get a group of people together, and everyone maybe is a little bit shy. Nobody really wants to dance, but one person gets into it, and the next person, and it kind of has a chain reaction. Everyone gets into it all at once, but nobody wants to be the first one. And when we're doing something that we really love, we hopefully are so enthralled in it that right, we just kind of stop worrying about what people are going to think about us, and what we're gonna how it's going to affect us, and what's going on. So that's diminished consciousness of self. Improvisational potential. So I'm sure everyone has pretended at some point. You get to play, you get to make things up, you get to go as you like through something. Most games have there's choices. There's if you're into playing music, I mean, you can, if you want, play a set song that's out there, and that's fine. But you can improvise too, and I think that's what makes it fun. Maybe not for everybody, but I think for a lot of people, they like to put their own spin on things. They like to try things out, make them a little bit different, make them their own. And that's the improvisational nature of play. Being able to take something and change it and make it your own. I'm sure that the music crowd in here is probably all about that. They it's nice to be able to you make your own beat, you make your own loops. You work through those. You speed them up, you slow them down. And there's kind of unlimited possibilities there. So right, being able to improvise as you go through something, definitely it's a lot of fun. And continuation desire. So something that we do and we want to keep going back to. We want to keep doing it. At the end of it, sometimes we're dead tired, but a lot of times we're like, oh, I just can't wait to go back and do this more. That looks different for everybody. Sometimes if you're playing a game, you playing a sport, you say, oh, we had this game, it went great, I just can't wait to get back out on the field, or whatever the case may be, court. But we want to continue doing it. So that's continuation desire. And don't mix these up with play personalities. That's something that going to talk about tomorrow in class. But yeah, so these are spacing out on words. Give me a minute. Right, these are kind of characteristics of play. So some of the defining characteristics of play versus play personality, which is something that we're going to talk about later. So don't confuse them. So the thing, don't worry, I won't. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. Does anyone have questions related to this or other questions about any of their assignments? I know almost everyone turned in their assignments from yesterday. Great. Thank you all for doing that. If you didn't, get with me. I can talk you through what we're looking for. Does anyone have any questions about any of that? Oop, I see. Miguel, go ahead.
Hi, aside from the wheel that we were supposed to do and the weekly chart, is there anything that's needed for tomorrow?
The wheel and the chart were the two things that were due last night. Aside from that, no, I don't think so. I'm sorry, I'm going through and looking at the activities page myself on my computer. Yep, we had the balance wheel, which was due last night, and the weekly plan, which was due last night as well. The one thing I will say, just real quick to give everybody a heads up, our discussion, which is activity 1.4, closes on Sunday, but the initial post is due Friday. I'm going to talk about this again tomorrow in class because it's really important that everyone knows this. So it's a discussion board. We all make our initial post. We do it by Friday, and then we leave comments. So everyone is basically continuing those conversations outside of class after we all post and we do that. But then we keep the conversation going through our comments, and that's why we have to post by Friday. So that way we have Saturday and Sunday to post comments. So yeah, Miguel, your hand is up again. What can I do for you?
Okay, just a question. The weekly plan that we did, not the one that we had to turn in last night, but the one that says your weekly plan due every Tuesday. Are we supposed to only hit the button that says I've completed this activity after submitting the final weekly plan, or do we submit it now?
So that, and this is just a good thing for everyone to kind of look at. You can, it doesn't matter for that activity. Most of the things you can see, like the things that need to get turned in that you absolutely have to hit something, are either weighted, and it'll, if you look at your activities page, you'll see, the number, the name of the activity, and then you'll see a weight. Some of them say 0% weight, some of them say 5, some of them say 10. Those definitely, the ones that are weighted definitely need to get turned in. Also, there's some that say attendance. So like activity 1.1, the go-to training session is for attendance. That's this session that we're in right now. So once we're done with this, everyone can go into that and click submit, or I've completed this activity. If you don't click that you've submitted the activity, I will not know that you were either here in the go-to training or watched the video. So definitely, please, please, please make sure you click it. If you don't, you will miss out on attendance points, which can potentially cause you some issues. So
Okay.
so make sure that after that you click that you've completed it.
All right, will do.
Okay, awesome. So those are the main things. Again, if for one reason or another you didn't get stuff turned in, shoot me an email, let me know. We can talk about it. We can figure it out. I'm more than happy to go through that with people. If you have more questions, send them my way. I'm happy to sit here and answer them. If not, you're free to go. Hey, Jonathan, what can I do for you?
Hi. So I'm just looking in all the activities, and there's a check-in thing.
Yes.
Um, is that something that's due soon, or should I wait to do it?
So you're looking at activity 1.5 check-in.
Yes.
So if you go just like kind of keep your eyes there and move to the right, you see 5% weight, and then you see the dates on there. It says August 1st through August 7th.
Oh, okay.
That it just has to be done by August 7th, which is Sunday at 11:59 p.m. I would recommend doing all the readings first. I think that if you don't do all the readings, you will not get the answers right. It's totally up to you. If you want to just like dive into it today, I won't stop you. I think that it's probably worthwhile to sit at least through tomorrow's class before you jump into it. We'll go over a lot of stuff that will likely be on the test, but it's also stuff that if you do all the readings thoroughly, you'll likely have all the information that you need for the test. A lot of what we go through in class is the same. A lot of similar content. It's not all the content, but everything that we're going to be tested on will be from the readings directly. So you'll have that. So does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking. Okay. Dariante, go ahead with your question, please.
Oh, I'm speaking. All right.
Yeah, I unmuted you. Sorry to put you on the
On the go
spot.
on the go to before I go on go to training section. After this is over, I click. I have completed a complete assignment.
Yes,
Right.
sir. That is correct.
All right. Cool. Just making sure.
Okay, yeah, thanks for asking. I appreciate it.
All right. Peace.
All right, take care. All right. Any other questions? Jump in if you have them. If not, you're free to go. You can just exit out of the window. Everybody have a good day. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Yeah, Miguel, if you clicked on the I've submitted this activity button, then you're good. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Does anyone have any questions? Brandon or Felipe?